Hey everybody, welcome to the com. We are live tonight. Not exactly from the studio, but we're live. She's trying to correct her stuff. Sorry, we kind of got her in a bad position. Hope everybody's doing okay. If you like the show, man, give us some stars. Just send us some stars, whatever. You know how this shit goes. I know my mother's probably gonna sit up there and say I'm cursing too much tonight. I just believe in expressing myself fully. I don't want to hide anything. If you want to join the show, man, the ticker is clicking. We're sponsored by Leftwoods. We are also sponsored by the Medicine Wheel, a wellness center located in the downtown tower. Yes, I still support my friend Susan. Go see her, 806-676-7075. She's an awesome lady. Lit arcade bar. That's right. You can go get you a beer. You can go play Pong, and you can actually go kick it. It's a nice place. I know it's kind of weird to kind of be. We're gonna talk about some mental health. So this is the lovely Miss Tashana. Y'all just love her, be her. She's a good person. She's also a psychological expertise and also, mental health. We both have mental health issues. I have PTSD stemming from a lot of other things. And then I get to re-experience it now since the stroke. So it's re-experiencing things that you wasn't really expecting that you were going to experience again. So we're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about some of the things that scare us, some of the things that we're trying to do, not only because we both have majors in psychology. She's actually Phi Beta Kappa. Dean's list type shit. I'm on I was on the Dean's list. I actually have my associates in psychology and applied behavioral analysis.
Administration.
Oh, you ain't doing that now?
No.
Oh, what's
the math?
Oh yeah, math. Man, I'm really trying to understand statistics. Okay, statistics I get why you have to have statistics in psychology. But bruh, what the fuck does algebra have to do? Like, I am not understanding where algebra has anything to do.
I'm actually learning more so algebra plays a big role in pretty much everything that you do.
It really does, because it's fractions. It's a lot of, it teaches you how to take out this much out of this.
It even tells you how to solve
X, Y, and Y
problems.
Yeah, X, Y, and Z. You gotta fly over your thumb. I can't say it right now because my mouth ain't ready yet. It wasn't ready. It's not ready yet. But basically, how we deal with the world is a little bit different than everybody else. So there are a lot of people that have health issues or have mental health issues that don't know how to handle a lot of things. And a lot of times we became very reliant on other people defining what we should do as adults, or even defining us as, early adults. When I was in high school, high school was bullshit. It wasn't really bullshit, but it was bullshit.
That's the right word for it.
But you're also learning a lot of things of ways to cope in life.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we had to learn that not everybody is for you. And as much as you want to be part of that team,
and that includes family also.
Yes, your family is, it's hard. It's really hard to have family that don't support you. Or if they are family and they're supposed to be there for you and they're not there for you, it affects you greatly. If you're in the room, man, hit us up. Say something. Say hello. Say hi. I'm here. Or we'll treat it like AA meetings. Hi, my name is Kane. I'm a chocoholic. I'm
a skinaholic. I eat barbecue skins in a minute.
Oh, bro. You know how hard it's been to not eat pork skins?
Very hard.
Very hard. Because I love me some pork skins. Because I'll literally make menudo out of that shit. No, like you just boil it and it just.
Menudo is nasty.
only if you eat the different kind. But see, that's what we're gonna talk about. That shit. How does your outside world become affected by things that you've never tried?
But some people with mental health, they're also afraid to step out and to try something
Very
new.
true. Because it is hard. Let's just be honest. We're gonna be honest with ourselves. It is hard to step out of a comfort zone when every time you've stepped out of anything, it's harmed you. Like PTSD. Post-traumatic stress disorder affects you when you get traumatized by something. And that could be anything from a date, because I've been traumatized by a date, by food, by a smell, anything that would be offensive to your senses is considered trauma. And it doesn't really necessarily mean that it's going to be a bad thing, like, oh God, this person stinks. But then in our mind, especially with people with mental health, they will see a person that looks like the person that gave them the first part of the trauma. Ironically, people date people that remind them of people with trauma, which is actually kind of weird. We date to torture ourselves, I feel. What's going on, Adama? What's going on, Amanda? I am not going to call you that. I'm sorry. I can't do it. It's already bad enough that I'm blessed that I didn't have any real speech issues from my stroke. But there are certain things that I still stumble over, and I can't. It's like I'm trying to read backwards, and I can't read backwards right now.
Well,
it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
But you know,
made easy.
but that's the thing. Life isn't easy.
No, it's not, and it's a different battle as well. Though, if you're battling with mental health,
Yeah,
it's also a different form of battle because you're battling with your mind, like on a daily basis.
true. But you can't keep fighting the same ghosts sometimes.
But it's not that simple for everybody to come to that realization at the same time either.
Very true. But we're going to talk about this then. How do you rewrite yourself? I had to write it down because I didn't really do anything today, so I'm doing it as I go. How do you rewrite yourself? How to rewrite yourself? It's like rewiring what you've been taught. So what would you advise in rewriting yourself? How do you start by rewriting yourself?
Stop focusing on everybody else's opinion of how you should matter in life, because nobody else's opinion matters more. I say God's. It's God's opinion that matters.
Well, and then we got to think about that too. Not everybody is a spiritual person.
Well, I mean, whatever, like that's like the videos and stuff that I do, and I tell people, I say it on those videos. Whatever God you believe in, I don't know. I believe in God. But I respect whatever you believe in, because that's what I was taught. I was raised to respect it. But I have no problem admitting, because I see where God has brought me. Everything that I've dealt with and battled with over my life, I shouldn't be here. I should be dead. But I'm still here. So I have no problem.
Well, I mean, and being instilled with the confidence and the courage to continue on, whatever spiritual being that you believe in.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Angel, how you doing? Thank you for joining the show. That is a great thing, and it's hard to do. Like she said, it's hard to do when you've had somebody tell you over a progression of time that this is what you should be doing. This is what you should be feeling, how you should feel about this, how you should feel about that. I think a lot of our racial prejudices come from things like that. And that's what really started kind of this really off-brand racism.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you don't date no sisters, you don't date no brothers. What's that got to do with anything? It's got a penis. I mean, like, if you're a woman, it's got a penis. If you're a man, it's got a vagina. I mean, they still are the same thing that you want to date. What does it matter? But then those outside sources of people that you respect, like your brothers, your sisters, immediate family, close
Not
friends.
all.
Not all, right?
Sometimes you're gonna respect them though.
You're gonna respect them though, because
you can respect them and keeping your distance. Because some people, even your family, they want to take the mental health that you have and use that as
a crutch.
Well, no,
I feel like a crutch sometimes.
No, like the family that's not dealing with it, they want to take the mental health and use that as a reason to blame everything, to basically put everything on you. Say this is your fault, that's your fault because you're dealing with this, and they're trying to basically rewrite your story for you, pretty much.
And then you get into that point to where you don't even know what your story is anymore.
Yeah,
it's like, no, mama told me that I should be doing this, and this, or no, I can't date you because my father told me no, that's not what you should be doing.
Yeah.
So out of respect, you tend to rewrite your story with you as the character, but you're letting everybody else write it. So basically, it becomes a soap opera.
Pretty much.
And the drama is difficult to deal with. So in rewriting my story, I chose to do different things. I tried things just to see if I could get away with them because of my mental health. But I didn't want to use my mental health as the reason of me doing those things. You know, a lot of people, that's the first thing they talk about when they go to court for anything. There's an insanity thing. You know, you did something wrong. You know you did something wrong, but you're going to say you were insane at the moment of the thing.
No, and that's the thing. People take mental health and they use it for twisted stuff, and that's the thing that irritates. I don't know. That kind of plucks a nerve with me because it's mental health is. I mean, it's real. It's a serious illness. People in their lives every single day, and they can use it in court. They can do whatever, but it's not. They use that, and that's the thing. Why I said like May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And that's what my focus is on, making more awareness to mental health, because people take it as a game, and it's not a game. It's like it's a life or death thing, and I know that because I've tried to I've ended my life multiple times.
I mean, as many people that sit up there and say, "Oh, that's stupid." Yes, you may feel that way, but you can't honestly say that you've never felt that way in your life. You can't tell me that there's not at some point where life was too tough. And you were like, dude, I can't do this no more. And that was the easy way out. True enough. But I mean, and I'm not saying that it's hard for me to say it because I've tried it too. So for me to tell somebody else that's not the answer, no, it's not. But I hate to say it, the journey there was an answer. I mean, if you're strong enough to take it for what it is. You know, like a lot of people aren't strong enough to take it for what it is. It's like, yeah, I got to that point and I really wanted to do that. And then you're seeing the answer of why you want to do it. But now you see the answer bigger. I'm trying to find the right words to say this. You went through enough that it's like, but if I kill myself, then what?
Honestly, my thought when I tried to attempt suicide, it wasn't what was then. It was everybody would be better off if I wasn't here.
If I wasn't here,
I would be better off.
Then you fast forward a little bit of time after, like after the attempt, and how many people come to you and be like, "Do you realize how?"
But it shouldn't take you ending your life or attempting to end your life for somebody to actually tell you they. Excuse my French, give a damn about you.
No,
it shouldn't. Right. It shouldn't take you doing that in order for them to actually say that.
Well, then still in that same aspect, we also have to kind of look at it like this too. We have to have mindfulness. There is a mindfulness that we do have to contain about other people. We can't always naturally assume. I mean, I would assume that my mother and my father care about me. I would assume that my brother and my sister care about me. The people that I spend the most time with, I would assume, do have a logical affinity for me. But some people just don't. And it could be, like we said, we get brainwashed by our own family. Oh no, you're supposed to suck it up, be a man, blah blah blah. Provide. Same thing for a woman. You're supposed to get married. You're supposed to have children. You're supposed to blah 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 blah. They put you in a nice little box and tell you that it's a little perfect red box just for you, and it's not, because it doesn't fit you. Later on, it just doesn't fit. What's going on, Tigger Mark? Good to see you, brother. How you doing? Talking about mental health and how to rewire yourself and get your life back. Rewrite your story. Rewrite who you are, because not everybody knows exactly who you are. They have an idea.
But then too, it's not for everybody else to like. That's something that I'm coming to the realization, and even my family is still trying to get used to me. I don't know, of accepting who God made me to be and who He created me to be. I mean,
I think people just want. Well, okay. Let's talk about it like this. You remember when you were little, and you get the ass whooping if you did not go to church. Like Sunday afternoon, that belt was ready because you decided to skip church at 13, 14. You know, when we're doing our mental stuff.
I mean, and that's what I'm saying. At 13, I experienced getting raised up in church, but I was in the hospital.
No.
Majority of the time, like from the age of 9 up until.
Well, okay, this is what you missed out on. Because I was raised in church I was raised in church from 5 years old. You know, like I've been in church the majority of my life up until I got about 16. You got hormones. You got friends in school. It's like you want to do stuff. You stayed up on Saturday nights and you wanted to go. You don't want to go to church. You don't feel like going to church. I'm tired. I just want to sleep. Well, most of us that have experienced that knew Big Mama or Mama or Daddy was not playing about you not going to church. You decided not to go to church. Okay, you decided not to go to church, but the moment you made that decision, you also made the decision to be an adult in some people's eyes. Other people look at it as, they're teenagers, are growing up, they're just trying to figure out their own way. But some people really pressure you to, this is the way to go. So that's part of rewriting your story is let's rewrite our origin, like where you started and where you began and where you feel like you began as a person.
Where I began?
Like where you began.
Last year.
There's nothing funny.
Yeah,
I mean, it's funny, but it's not funny. But it's true.
I'm 39, but it took 30 or maybe 20 some odd out of the 39 years that I've been on this earth for me to actually realize
this ain't what it was.
And I'm here for a reason.
Yeah. I mean, I really honestly think we're all here for a reason, but some people may suck up oxygen more than others, but the real part is that, but you still have a purpose, But
it comes to also of realizing your own purpose,
right? And how do you define that purpose? And that's part of rewriting yourself. Mm-hmm. Is finding out what truly defines you and really makes you feel the way that you feel about whatever it is that makes you feel. And since we're talking about mental health, let's talk about care, self-care. So mental self-care is mental health is a critical component of overall health. And the well-being engages in activities that promote mental clarity, such as meditation, mindfulness, and mindfulness practices. Sorry. Oh, my lip is coming back and I keep on biting it, bro. And I'm like, I hate it because it's just that one damn tooth. And it's like, if I say, I can't say sarcophagus. I can't say certain things. And I read the dictionary, sorry.
What you doing?
I read the dictionary.
For fun.
A lot of people's like, man, I thought you was gangster. I'm still gangster. I'm an educated gangster. What's up, Monica? Monica Blackmore, what's going on, Mama? How are you doing? Thank you for joining the show. So that goes back to what we were talking about about like mindfulness. So we have to be mindful of how we teach others and how our family taught us. We have to rewrite that, or even how church taught us. Because really, if you really think about it, man, look at some of these people that are on church, that are in church predominantly, or members of our church. They got skeletons just like we got skeletons. So how you gonna throw bones in my yard?
But they're quick to do that though.
Exactly. So we try our best to deflect. I'm doing pretty good, Monica. I'm doing good. If you're wondering what it's because I see all the extra stuff over here, and that stuff it messes with me too, because then I'm trying to have a conversation, then I'm like, I gotta be right, like I gotta be a good person and talk to the people that are talking to me. But it's really rewriting that story. It is rewriting your story. It's telling yourself that everything's okay.
But some people don't know how to do that, especially if you've been raised to basically hide your feelings, not admit that there's something wrong with you, or that you may have to take medication to. It's not easy. It's not easy for everybody to always.
It's not, but it's doable.
It's doable, but how would they do that?
You first of all, you have to learn to accept.
Yeah.
Acceptance is the biggest part of any problem. Accepting the issue. And not all the time. You can have an abusive parent, abusive spouse, mentally and physically. That's going to tell you that everything that you're thinking is wrong. And then one day, you decide to finally get away from all of it. Not through any other means, but literally walking away. What's up, Chantel? How you doing? Thank you for joining. But you have to walk away. And sometimes I'm not going to say sometimes, because every time it's hard.
Yeah.
Because especially with somebody that you truly care about and you truly have the best intentions with, whether it be family or friends or lovers or whatever. You have to have true intentions. So if you don't have true intentions for yourself, how can you have true intentions for anybody else? They keep telling you, how are you going to take care of somebody if you can't take care of yourself? Taking care of yourself starts with accepting what you can and cannot do, and achieving things that they say you cannot achieve.
Yeah.
Because they told you can't do it. Hey, I just saw that person do it yesterday. You told me I couldn't do it. Why does that person get to do it? How did they get to do it? Well, they're either going to tell you one or two things. That person is better than you, or that person has something that you don't have.
And I guess that's what it takes. I guess that's what it takes most people to, trying to find their way to that point, that place. Like, I'm at that place now. I really don't care if people like me or not. That's the part. Your opinion does not.
It doesn't affect my life.
No, yeah. And it doesn't affect how I value myself as a woman, mother, person, whatever. But some people, it's hard for them to get to that point, though.
Well, and it's even harder when you've constantly been told you're not going to do this, or you are going to do this. And like Monica said, it's healthy boundaries. It's finding those healthy boundaries to really look, man, this is how I'm feeling today. Especially if you're my spouse. Mm-hmm. Okay. You can't really tell your mom or your dad, hey, man, I'm having some sexual issues, or I'm
sorry.
Yeah, I can't. But some people have those relationships. Some people don't.
I talk to my mom about anything, pretty much.
But if you don't, then how do you do that? I didn't have a comfort zone with my parents. It was me as a child. They are my parents. I'm supposed to listen. That's it. Until I grew up and realized, hey, I have to be an adult, and I have to do what's best for myself. Now, they can give me the best advice in the world, but doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be right for me. Same thing with a relationship. I can't be a spouse with you or be your lover if I can't talk to you. Because there's going to be a day that I'm just like, babe, I'm just, just upset. You're sad. you have mental health issues. You are going to feel sad one day that you're just like, I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to deal with anybody. Matter of fact, don't touch me. And they're not knowing it. And they feel like they've been robbed. Because my friend, the person I fell in love with, the person that's my friend, isn't telling me what's going on.
And that's why I said, like my videos that I've been doing, I do take serious. May is, I mean, it's mental health awareness month. The same way that everybody puts on something big for Juneteenth or 4th of July or whatever, is the same thing they need to do for mental.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I wish people would, but they feel like
somewhere though.
But then there's going right back to that. I guess that comfort zone. People feel like, okay, if we talk about mental health,
well, I'm gonna step on a lot of toes again.
I've been stepping on toes, so this ain't nothing new. I feel about it like this: if you can go party with the hood, okay, everybody goes to Juneteenth, everybody got brand new outfits, cars shined up, everything like that. You barbecuing. Why can't we have a celebration of life? And teaching people about mental health. Not really necessarily, it's not always going to be a drag. It's not always going to be fun either. Hell, you go to church for betterment, but do you ever feel better when you go to church? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. What's up, Pedro? What's up, Title? How y'all doing, guys? Thank y'all for joining me. But that's part of the trek, is being able to, or finding the courage to step away.
That part is finding the courage.
Finding the courage. And I mean, we can tell everybody, oh, it's not that easy. It really is, but you got to be courage. You got to be courageous enough.
It's not easy for everybody, because it wasn't easy for me. It's not.
It's still a process.
Yeah.
It's not saying like, just because I was able to do it, you shouldn't tell yourself that you should not be able to do it. It's just finding the courage to finally just be like, shut up. Like, I'm tired of hearing the same garbage out of the same people. Or you already know what this person's about to say. It's like when you were a kid, you knew how your parents felt about certain things, and you ended up doing it. You knew you were going to have to confront them about it. Oh, well, ain't no point. Why? I already know what my mom was going to say. What do you mean? Whatever that phrase was. And it generally ended up being that phrase every time. But rewrite it. Ask questions. And, as Black children, we are not raised to ask questions. Don't question.
They're not raised to discuss mental health either. I'm sorry.
Right.
That's one of the main things in the Black community.
Yeah, it's a large thing in the community.
It's something that's not spoken of.
And I don't think we should do that to ourselves. Well, personally, I don't think we should do it to ourselves. As
what, not speaking of it?
Yeah. Like why are we teaching future generations not to talk about mental health?
Oh, okay.
And why are we we gentrificate ourselves? Because we do the same things, we have the same traditional ideals. We keep having these traditional ideals and passing it on that don't work. It really don't work. Men don't cry, women don't do this, when we really should address those issues.
Yeah.
Especially with our children. We wonder why our children sit over here and talk crazy to us. Or why some people's children talk crazy though, because my kids don't do that shit. Her kids don't do that shit. So, and they know, yeah, that's what I'm saying, but they know without a shadow of a doubt, I talk crazy, I'm about to get my head knocked off. Oh, I'm not going on my dad's. Why? I can't go up there with you. Why? Because you are not what he's about. Oh, is he a Bible thumper? Like I've actually heard that about me. Because my
Bible thumper.
Yeah, because
that's the one that they constantly the holier than thou.
I've never been holier than thou.
Religious folk.
My father is a pastor. My auntie is a pastor. Half of my family is Jehovah's Witness.
No, oh, no.
So it's like
I'm saying
no. What I'm saying is I'm giving you a background.
Oh, okay.
I'm giving you.
I would say that's
so for somebody to say that I was a Bible thumper, they're going on the basis of what they know of my family. They don't know me as a person. Me as a person, I am very open to all religions. Whatever floats your boat, I'm with. If it makes you happy, if you can lay your head down, cool. But the moment I start hearing about child molestation, some other things and other things about you, then I no, that's on you, bro. You lost mine because you're crossing lines. Now that's that difference. It's like, when do we decide, when our ego decides that this is what lines are crossed? Because there are definite things that are just like no to everybody. Mm-hmm. There are certain lines that are like, well, it's kind of gray area. But I don't really feel rewriting yourself is a gray area. I think if you have defined rules, you keep those defined rules. But have them because you have them in your mind.
But not everybody knows how to get those rules either. Not everybody is raised or brought up in that form of manner. So,
but we have to also accept people for who they are. Again, there's that word, acceptance.
Well, I accept me for who I am now. That's something
but then
I started doing.
But then we start getting the narcissistic ideals.
No, I'm not narciss. I'm not narciss. I'm just like, I mean, I'm just.
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being yourself. But I mean, some people may call it narcissism. Some people may call it confidence. I look at it as you being yourself, like you said. You're just being you. Some people might like, well, you think it's a little too highly of yourself, man. There's always room for correction and everything like that. But no, it's like she said, mental health is different. Some people, the way that we normally talk to someone else, what's up, Jeff Zias? How you doing, brother? The way that we normally talk to people may be offensive to somebody else. Like me and actually, I work at a hotel. There's an English gentleman, and he came in and we talked about a few things because he was actually kind of curious because he married a woman from New Jersey. Like, he is from England, and his wife is from New Jersey, and they have a thing. In Iowa, it's yep. In New Jersey, New York is mm-hmm. Like you say, thank you. Mm-hmm. Exactly. That look you just gave me is exactly what we were talking about. It's because over there, it's cheers. They say cheers after everything. They really do.
Oh, yeah.
They say cheers. You know, like, well, you have a good day. Cheers.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, dude, what's that supposed to mean? I'm not drinking. So that's where we have to learn to communicate in different ways and understand that not everybody comes from the same process that we came from. So that's one of those things, like you said, but how do you do it? You have to accept it. And then maybe try it yourself. I hate to say it, if you try something, you generally end up liking it. Or you generally can probably explain it better than the person that you experienced it from. It may have been traumatic the first time, but then after you do it a couple of times, because really that's what it ends up happening. That's what we call a cycle of experience. So like, well, my daddy did it, my granddaddy did it, I'm gonna do it.
Somebody got to break the cycle.
Somebody's got to break the cycle. So you're the one that breaks the cycle. You're teaching better ways, better different motives of how to create a newer self. What does it say in the Bible? You have to shed the old skin and let the new man shine through. And largely by doing that is acceptance. You have to accept that this model of me here is not the same model of me that I want the world to see.
But you have to first accept who God created you, whatever spiritual being you praise, whatever. You have to still accept who God made you to be.
Well, aren't you? Well, I mean, like, but you have an expectation. Are you having an expectation, or are you saying that God has already told you what your expectation is? Or that's what I mean. It's like whatever deity, whatever tribe you're from, whatever lineage, there is a certain expectation from our parents and our grandparents. I was supposed to be whatever I wanted to be. That is what God made me to be. Is me. Not, well, I'm supposed to be doing this. No, that's what you're telling yourself you're supposed to be doing. You ain't gonna know the real answer until you die. What the hell? You're not really gonna know the answer until your next chapter. And so, while we're sitting here trying to tell everybody else, well, I know who I am. No, technically, really, you don't. You kind of know a little bit.
Yeah, I'm learning more and more every day. Like the old me probably wouldn't share. The old me probably wouldn't be sitting here right now on video because I'm so worried about what everybody else thinks, or if they have something negative to say. Like I wouldn't have done my live videos that I've done on my page to raise awareness and to say something about it, because
and then some people get into that stigma too. You know, like you get scared. I was scared. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, what the hell am I gonna say? I'm a motor mouth, I feel like most of the time. But then I was like, but what honestly good advice do I have? And I really had to sit back and think about it, much like yourself. Like you said, the old me, oh no, fuck this. I ain't doing this. Take too much time. I gotta do all this extra stuff. Nope. I'm the way I am right now. Hell, you know, I should be laying down on my couch. But now I realize that we all have a responsibility, and that's part of our responsibility is being able to step out of that comfort zone, because you never know what blessing you might be for somebody else. And like you said, it's about knowing who you are supposed to be, but you first got to figure out who you are. And how you do that is start by accepting some things and rewriting what you've learned. Miseducation has been the largest thing of our lifetime, especially as Black people. We miseducate everybody because people put African Americans as a stereotype more than as people. You as an individual are far more precious than the color than your skin. That's the way I look at it. Now the individual could be black, white, Puerto Rican, brown, alien, predator, whatever. But their development in my life and how it affects me affects who I am. I do understand that them as a person or their opinion does not really pertain to me. Oh, wow. I'm telling y'all, never have a stroke. Ever. If it happens to you, I'm going to write a fucking source book for you to know what you're going to deal with. Because it's like, I wish there really was somebody to write a book, tell you how to survive a stroke. Not really like, hey, I've been thinking about it.
I'm just saying.
And I think it'll be a really decent point of view, but I really feel like there should be books written on certain stuff. And maybe that would teach you how to rewrite yourself. Because we're like you said, but how? Somebody write a book. They used to call it blank blank for dummies or whatever. The dummies books really weren't that great. They were not good instructional.
Step-by-step instructions.
They had some instructions step by step, but I think you really need to have perspective. So I think that's a larger part of how you rewrite yourself too, is changing your perspective, changing the narrative. Don't always keep on saying but. Instead of but, try to find another word for but. Or not even really trying to find a but trying to find the solution, I guess you could say. because that's just really just giving you an inhibiting ideal of, okay, so I would go skydiving, but I'm scared of heights. That's a logical assumption. I'm not going to go get in a plane and jump out of it if I don't even like going up a ladder. Where does the logic come in there? Or I'd try sushi, but there you go. So if sushi is, I mean, see, look, this is what I'm telling y'all, man. If sushi, why do I feel like I'm the guy on, I feel like Dr. Evil right now. Sushi. If sushi is so nasty, why do so many people eat it? There obviously must be something about it, but necessarily in your characteristics, that's just something that you're not into. And it could change. See, concrete ideals, abstract. Concrete and abstract. That is the difference in in this thing I just said to everybody. It's because that's a concrete ideal. She will never try sushi because she does not like sushi. I like sushi out of the same ideal, though, because for me it was abstract. I said, no, I ain't never gonna eat no raw fish. What the hell? No,
I eat some catfish.
But that's what I'm saying. I love catfish. I will not eat trout. I will not.
And I won't do sushi.
Exactly. So there's ways around it, but is it because it's not because I don't like fish? Some fish I'm allergic to. Some fish I'm not allergic to. And then there's just that shit just tastes nasty. Yeah. So I like sushi, but it took me trying it and not knowing the result. I'm gonna do it. Why? I've never done it. What do you mean you've never done it? I've just never done it, so I'm gonna do it. Were you dying or something? Why do we have to be dying to experience something new?
That is true.
Or to want to experience something new. Living your life is living your life. I met a couple of days ago that were kidnapped in Ecuador. They asked me about my condition. I told them about my condition, and they were like, wow, well, at least you didn't get kidnapped. And I just kind of laughed, and I'm like, I'm not laughing that you got, like I felt like, because I know part of the stroke thing is a lot of things may sound inappropriate, but they're not inappropriate. It's just your brain is relearning it. So it may be funny to you. It's like, you got kidnapped in Ecuador? Like, what was that like? What was that experience? Yeah. But it taught them the appreciation of life, because literally they could have been dead in a field somewhere. Mm-hmm. Instead, they didn't. Now they go on trips. They do all these extra things. So if that's part of rewriting yourself. The moment that you actually fear waking up, you need to rewrite yourself. You need to really, really try some things that you've never tried before. Do some things that excite you and like, I wonder what this is. Don't go, chopping up people and doing crazy shit. I mean, like, do something that is adding to the quality of your life.
I did a mohawk when I came to the realization of I matter and I don't really care what anybody else thinks.
Right. But in the same process, it was also a functional ideal. And I don't know if you want to talk about your thing. I think you have on your page. So my friend has had a couple of surgeries on her brain. Parts of her hair does not grow. So it's like, how can I still look fashionable and gorgeous as I am and continue?
Well,
that was your idea.
Well, no, the mental health, the mental health, and then how I grew up, because I always based it on, because not once in my life would I ever thought I would ever have a mohawk in my lifetime. It was always either you wear your hair a certain way for whoever, I don't know, but that just wasn't me. Like wearing my whole full hair and braids, it just didn't feel right. Never felt right. I just never understood why I never felt right in different hairstyles.
Yeah.
Like my mom is still getting used to my hairstyle
Right.
now. Um, I just never understood why, and it's always because I've put it on what somebody else has always felt about.
The outside opinion, the outside majority. And instead of, because I know, I'm in 10th grade, I cut my own hair. I didn't know shit about clippers. I'm raised by my mom. My mom wasn't cutting my hair. I go to the barber. I try to save some money because I wanted something. So the money that I was getting used towards getting my hair cut, I tried to cut my own hair. Cut it too low. So I had to go bald. Because at the time it wasn't a popular thing. I wore caps anyway. I wore hats every damn day. So it was just another day to me. I go to school, people like, oh my God, do you have cancer or this, that, and the other? And I'm like,
They asked you, did you have cancer?
yeah.
Oh wow.
Like people really thought I had cancer. You look like a cancer patient. Why is that the first assumption? Maybe I just didn't want my hair no more. Maybe I'm tired of going to the barbershop every weekend. Maybe I wanted to look like somebody off of TV.
So you're trying to step outside of your comfort zone.
Right. Trying to step outside of my comfort zone. And I got chastised for stepping outside of my comfort zone. That's part of rewriting yourself. It's learning that those things don't matter. Whoever has something to say about you obviously does not care about you as a person. They don't value your intellect. They don't value your spirit or your entity, who you are. You wanted to, like you said, you had curls. You probably had this, all the styles. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
All the styles that are traditional in our homes, though. You know what I mean? Because I was raised around girls. My best friend, Danielle Owens, love you, girl. I hope you're doing good. But her and her sister, Chantel, and her cousin, Gayla, I was raised around them a majority of the time. Every Saturday, they got their hair pressed and curled, and they had to do this and this before church. So it's like, I get it with girls. It's like, dude, you get tired of somebody trying to tell you exactly what you need to do with your hair. Or you keep going down the same.
But you can't classify all women in that same category, though.
No, because my daughter shaved off her head. I love it. I did, because it just shows that she has growth.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's confident in her own skin to do what she just did.
Yeah.
Well, my other daughter, who had beautiful hair, it kind of hurt. It kind of hurt. Yeah, it did, because I was like, God, you have such great hair. Yeah, I got your daddy's hair. I'm so glad you got my hair. And cut it all off. I was like, but she still looks beautiful. You are not your hair. Women are not just this, or this. You're not just mothers. You're not just sisters. You're not just daughters. You're doctors. You're lawyers. You're influencers. You're a lot more. And that is part of rewriting your story. Is the moment that you accept you are larger than your section. Don't always assume that you got to be based on your color. Don't always assume because you're a male or a female. Like we was talking earlier about mothers and fathers. Mother's Day is coming up. All the mothers, I'm sure, are feeling some type of way, and especially if their kids aren't doing nothing but being assholes. It's like, I should have swallowed your ass. I really should have bit the bullet and just said,
because that's, I mean, I'm gonna be honest and not lie. I'm not looking forward to it.
I understand.
Celebrate my mom a little bit. I'm not looking forward to Mother's Day.
And I really don't feel like we really have to do that. You should celebrate your mother every day. It shouldn't just be one day out of the year that you're celebrating your mom. I'm lucky to still have my mother still alive and kicking.
And that's the difference when your kids don't
appreciate it.
don't have you
Yeah.
you feel like you're a good mom or dad or whatever. That brings up a lot of it also.
It really does. I mean, I haven't got a Father's Day gift in a long time. I don't really feel like I deserve one. I don't feel like I need one because it does not define me as a father. A tie and some socks and going to dinner does not define me as a father. As much as the same thing as some flowers or a card or going out to dinner defines you as a mother.
No, just showing appreciation to me, period, in general. That's.
Yeah. But you can do that every day.
But I'm saying, but yeah, then that's the part right there.
And then that's another thing about rewriting yourself is choice. You have to be able to choose to do this healthy. Because a lot of times when people rewrite themselves or shave their head, or when you do something that's totally drastic, really honestly, it's because you want change. You want to change something in your life. You're tired of the same dramatic ideal. So you do something dramatic to change the ideal. And I know it sounds crazy. What's up, Monica Rodriguez? Thank you for joining us. Even though we only got like 10 minutes, but we doing good. We're doing good. All right. But that dramatic change changes something here. So part of your mental health is change. So those are the three things that you really kind of got to understand in order to rewrite yourself. You got to first learn to accept it. You got to be able to change and accept that change. Again, acceptance becomes that big thing. And then just have the mindfulness that not everybody's going to like it. Like she said, like it would be nice to be appreciated as a father, regardless if I'm a good father or a bad father. I still appreciate the fact that I'm your father. Or like you said, the fact that you are their mother, and be able to develop something. Mm-hmm. And it's not really like, I'm not going to say me and my mother had the greatest relationship in the world, because we did not. She worked all the time. She was a workaholic. My dad was a workaholic. I'm a workaholic. Mm-hmm. And we just didn't know how to talk to each other.
But yet you still going to have respect. And if something is going on with your mama, you still going to make the opportunity to call your mama the same way as me and my mama. We didn't.
But there was also still those moments that I did not give my mother that respect. And I think it was really just more the growing pains of becoming an adult. I felt like you're trying to traditionalize my ideals to be your ideals. I'm not my dad. I'm not my mom. I'm myself. I didn't always agree with my mother, even though she was giving me pearls of wisdom. She was giving me wisdom because she was teaching me, look, son, I know you're your own person, but there are things out there that are bigger than you. And those things will eat you alive. And I'm going to show you how to survive those ideals if you listen. Nah, I know what I'm doing, blah, 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 blah. Then when I experienced it, which is the third thing you should experience. When I experienced it, my mental health changed, because now I see what my parents were trying to teach. And maybe I was wrong at the time, and I really openly admit that I was wrong at the time. That's what it's going to take for, unfortunately, our children. Yeah. They're going to have to experience it. They're going to have to experience it to really want the change and then accept the change. So if you accept, you change, and you experience, that's the way to rewrite yourself. If you can't accept what you did wrong, if you can't accept you lost, if you can't accept, hey man, I'm a great person, I'm a great dad, I'm a great whatever, then you'll never experience life and the changes that go in it. Because you got to go with the flow. Not everything's going to be perfect. Mm-hmm. Every day is not going to be sunshine and beer. It's not going to be roses and champagne. Sometimes it's going to rain on your ass, and you're going to have to walk home. Now, are you going to be bold enough and courageous enough? Bless you. Are you going to be bold enough and courageous enough to walk in the rain with your head held high? Bless you again. You can't always assume that, like the world is not going to help you, but you got to be able to roll with it and make it work. Okay, we got 5 minutes left. Any last thoughts you would like to say to everyone?
Just I just pray to everybody just have bring more awareness to mental health. With May being Mental Health Awareness Month, the same way we do Black History Month, 4th of July, whatever it may be. I just say, but don't push. If somebody comes to you, don't just push their thoughts aside either. Um, just love them as they are.
That's all you gotta do. All you need is love. Damn allergies, man. Because she's like mid. Oh god. My last thoughts is I hope y'all will watch this show a little bit more often. We're gonna have some more ideals, and thank y'all for watching. You know, like if you need somebody to talk to, man, there are people that you can call. There's the National Suicide Hotline. There's the National Mental Health. Oh, why can't I talk today? Mental Health Awareness Line. Look it up. You can Google it. We do have one here in town. We got one at WT. We got a couple things. So if you ever just need somebody to talk to, man, feel free to hit me up on my Facebook. It doesn't matter. But this is important because people need to be better aware of what's going on around them. Also, be better aware of their community and be mindful of your community. Because I mean, we're losing people every day. And it's not always as cut and dry as, oh, well, I was in the wrong neighborhood. Da, 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 da. No, it's like they really was going through something and there were not people there to listen. Or there wasn't anybody there that could understand. So, be mindful of the people around you. Be mindful of your friends and your family. If they have something to address, man, help them address it. Don't just let them fall to the wayside. So, till next week, y'all. I'm gonna cut this short because my back hurts. I'm tired. I had therapy today. So I hope everybody joins us tomorrow for everybody's favorite show, Stripper Radio Live. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.